Hey, you guys, this is Just Ask Heidi Mini Podcast, and I am back, and it's New Year's. Happy 2024. So, everyone always have these set goals about their New Year's resolution, things that they're going to change, things that they want to try to work on. And apparently, I just think it's a bunch of BS because you started off and then you don't. You start off and you don't. You start off and just to avoid all of that, if you can't do 21 days of consistency to get a baseline of regimen of your New Year resolution, don't even think about trying to do it because it's just going to get you frustrated and have you looking at everybody else setting their goals and they're achieving their goals instead of you paying attention to your life and how you have things going. You too caught up looking at everybody else how they do their New Year resolution. So I'm going to say this: don't put too many stipulations on yourself when you're trying to set your goals. Work hard on them, but don't beat up on yourself because we're all human. We all fall short of something, when we're trying to achieve something, whether it be a new position at work or a business, all those things. You don't have to make yourself feel so burdened down with these things when you're trying to set your goals for New Year's. So, with that being said, I have someone that had DM me a question asking how could they maintain their New Year resolution without having any distractions. Well, for one, you cut off the people that you know that's not going to be beneficial for you moving forward. And I mean that I say that to say when you're around people who's not motivated in life, who just want to just stay in that same position, not trying to move forward. They're not trying to get anything better. They just like keeping that same thing, the same regimen, the same whatever they're doing. That's not beneficial. That's not conducive, you know, to their life. So I say set the goals that you feel that you could achieve and do it in baby steps. I mean, take one day at a time with it because you just never know. I mean, you rushing yourself, hey, as my dad would say, haste make waste, so take your time, build up whatever goals that you're trying to set up at that time so that you can achieve them so that you could finish them off. Make a checklist. Okay, this is what I want to set up. This is how I want to do it. This is how I want to be completed. You have to do things like that. Once you do that, it kind of gives you an idea of how the flow is going to move. And you don't feel overwhelmed, especially if you have anxiety, that's going to have your mind just all over the place. So to prevent that, set a minimum goal that you know that you could achieve, write it down and check it off as you go. Then make the second goals that you could achieve. Start from mild to the max when it comes down to your goal. So you could get a regimen going. So you could keep that 21 cycle, going as far as, hey, I did for 21 days. I keep on doing it for another 21 days. I keep on pushing it. Because 21 days, you keep doing something, it's a habit. So that's how you can create your habit. Doing it with a 21-day rule. I mean, it works for me. And when you do that, it helps you to understand your process as you're going along while you're progressing. So again, set small goals. Don't set them too high because it will be overwhelming again. Set small one from the minimum. I mean, from mild to max, the maximum of whatever it is. Whether it be setting your bedtime at 10 o'clock, waking up at 5 to work out, having breakfast at 7, or, stuff like that. And then you do that. Okay, I got this down. Let's do the next steps. The next step is making sure I'm on time for certain meetings, or making sure that I'm setting time aside for family time for my family, having sit down talks and seeing how my children doing at school at this certain time of the day. Just kind of make a list of things because all that stuff is important, whether you know it or not. A lot of people don't think it's important when you're taking time out to talk with your family members, your children when they come from school, asking them how was their day. Even your spouse, it's important for you to ask your spouse how was their day. That would be a good goal to set if you just coming and going. If both of your lives is so hectic and it's all based on the hamster wheel, working, coming home, going to sleep, working, coming home, going to sleep. You want to take time off and take time out and woosah. Okay, let me take the time off. Let me ask how my husband is doing. Let me ask how my children had their day at school. Or let me ask how my wife is doing. Does she want a glass of wine? Or let me ask my children how they're doing. Let's sit down and have a normal dinner. Things like that that you could implement in your New Year resolution so that you could come together and kind of rebuild yourself, if you have a family. And if you don't have a family, it would be good to set those goals for you as well when it comes down to just you in general. If you're trying to set a goal for a business, or you have a certain amount of time in your life where you say, this is when I want to be married, or this is a certain time in my life where I want to be able to just do anything, take a trip. People need it. Hell, I need a trip right now. So that will do justice for a lot of people who is trying to set those New Year resolutions. Again, not setting them too high and putting those stipulations on yourself, making you feel that you have to do it by this time. And then when you set them so high, you feel overwhelmed. You're like looking at it like, oh my God, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. You start to gain that anxiety, and you don't want that anxiety. So to rule all that stuff out, just be calm. Start something simple. Write it down. Okay, here's 5 things I'm going to try to do within the first 21 days. Then do the middle part, the next 5 for 21 days. Then implement those first 5 that you got a hang on down to, and carry them over to the 21 days with the next 5. So you got 10. And then you keep going on until you kind of build a cycle up of a good regimen so that you're able to keep your New Year resolution and not just let it be a New Year resolution in the month of January and then you throwing it out the window. Because I know life gets to us all, it's expected. So to alleviate all of that, take a woosah moment, breathe, and know that you're human and that you have to set small goals and not be overwhelmed. Okay. So again, that was the answer to your question. Again, I thank you guys for tuning in to Just Ask Heidi mini podcast. It is on Spotify. You can go watch the whole videos and everything on my YouTube channel, Just Ask Heidi, along with DMing me. And please comment below. Let me know what you guys think. I mean, I'm open for anything. I have some crazy questions you guys been sending me. Some of them I'm not gonna even ask because it's just a little bit too wild. And I get it. You just want to just be funny. But I get it. I get you. I get you. I just want to be answering that question or any of those questions that kind of out of line on my podcast. So again, thank you guys for joining me, and Happy New Year's. Keep in mind, stay positive, stay blessed, and remember, take a deep breather. We're going into number 8. This year is 8. Great things are happening. Keep positive energy going so that you could just receive great blessings. All right. Thank you.